the lecture now on plagiarism. Dr. Jasimuddin, please, you can start your lecture.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the stakeholders for organizing such a webinar series. And I'm thankful to the organizers for inviting me for delivering a talk on trends in academic plagiarism. We know trends in academic plagiarism or plagiarism is a topic that is widely discussed among academic scholars nowadays. UGC has several rules to prevent the amount of plagiarism in submitted manuscripts or thesis or other academic documents. So it's a trending topic. My topic or my talk will be most beneficial to the early stage researchers who doesn't know nothing about what plagiarism is. And I know many of the participants are already aware about what plagiarism is, what are the types of plagiarism, plagiarism detectors, how to check plagiarism, etc., etc. So in between, you can ask any questions or doubts, because I would like to be this session as an interactive session. I just recovered from some fever, so my voice is not so good over there, I think so. I will start my presentation by sharing a PPT. I will share all the resources with the organizer so that the participants can collect the PPTs and they can go through it. They can learn in in-depth manner what plagiarism is. So I will also give my contact number and email address, so that you can chat with me or you can call me to clarify any doubts in future. I'm sharing my screen. Hope it is visible over there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, this is a typical example of what plagiarism is. You can see a journal article published, which is currently available in the web. You can search with the title. See this article, Digital India, Major Initiatives and Their Impact, a Critical Analysis. And this is written by S. Krishna Prabhu. And the article was published in 2019, May 2019. You can see them on the screen. And the title is Digital India, Major Initiatives and Their Impact, a Critical Analysis. We go through the abstract, the first sentence. You may please read it. The Digital India program is a flagship program of Government of India with a vision to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. Remember the date, May 2019. I will show another article with the same title, Digital India, Major Initiatives and Their Impact, a Critical Analysis. And this is written by Dr. Shekhar Srivastava. And it was appeared in 2017, now 2 years before the latest article was published. The title is the same. See the first sentence of the abstract, the same sentence which I read earlier. And if you go through the both articles, it is A to Z copy. And this is an example of blatant plagiarism or A to Z plagiarism. Okay, sorry for that. And these two articles are of similar content, means A to Z plagiarism. And this is a typical example. And the most interesting thing is that both these articles are available in the web now. You can search it. Okay. Then I'll share the PPT. Unethical practices in academic writing. Plagiarism, fabrication, falsification. They are different classification, and I am not dealing with fabrication or falsification in this session, just dealing with plagiarism. And this is the definition of plagiarism. I know you are all aware about this definition. Plagiarism is the act of taking someone else's ideas, words, research, or other intellectual or artistic work and presenting them as if they were your own. And this is the definition of plagiarism. This is another one, using another person's words or ideas without giving credit, either by accident or intent. That means plagiarism can be happened unintentionally, by accident, or with intention. Types of plagiarism. If you search the literature, you can see different types of plagiarism. One author will give a different set of classification. Another author will give different set of classification. An organization will give a set of classification, and so on. So there are different types of plagiarism. One should be aware about different types of plagiarism, at least from one source. And this is one, direct plagiarism or clone plagiarism. It is a word-to-word copying of someone's work without acknowledgement. The example I have shown, A to Z copy. An article which was published in 2017 was exclusively copied from A to Z and published it in another journal with the author's name. You may go through the slide later. An example which has been taken from some source is pasted there on the left hand side and right hand side, and the source and the reproduced material or the manuscript written is given, and the underlined words is given in the source material. A student read the source material and wrote something. Why it is direct plagiarism? Just because the underlined portion, majority of the underlined portions are copied as such in the right hand side. Hope this is visible there, right? Am I audible or invisible there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then second type of plagiarism is self-plagiarism or text recycling. This is something which is regularly asked by research scholars. I used to get at least 2 or 3 queries per week. Can I copy my own words in the new article? Can I submit the same thing which has been written in my thesis as an article? Will it be caught as plagiarism, etc., etc.? And what self-plagiarism is, it is using or reusing of one's own work which is previously published without citing the original text. This is self-plagiarism. And what University Grants Commission says about self-plagiarism? See, reproduction in part or whole of one's own previously published work without adequate citation and proper acknowledgement, and claiming the most recent work as new and original from any academic advantage amounts to text recycling, also known as self-plagiarism, and that is not acceptable. So the regulation is there, the order is there. So try not to copy even if it is your own words. You have to restate it and you have to give the citation. Otherwise, it would amount to self-plagiarism. Then mosaic plagiarism or patch writing. It occurs when a student borrows phrases from a source without using quotation marks or finds synonyms for the author's language while keeping to the same general structure and meaning of the origin. Sometimes it is also called patch writing. And this is dishonest, and this amounts to plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism or patch writing. An example is given there. You may go through it later. It's simple to understand and not taking too much time. Mosaic plagiarism or patch writing. Then accidental plagiarism. What are the types of accidental plagiarism? 1, 2, 3. Accidentally failing to cite your source correctly. It comes under accidental plagiarism. Then not citing paraphrased information. It may amounts to accidental plagiarism. Then incorrectly paraphrasing. And these are the 3 types of accidental plagiarism. These are some other types of plagiarism. Then remix, recycle, hybrid, aggregate. So many items are there, and examples are given in various library guides of various universities and institutions. So my suggestion is we should be aware about all types of plagiarism. Only then we can avoid that type of plagiarism when we write articles, when we write dissertation, thesis, etc. Institutions should start add-on courses or certificate courses to make aware the research scholars, the faculty members, etc. The different types of plagiarism and the problems associated with plagiarism and other aspects. Consequences of plagiarism. I think many of you have already seen this academic order from UGC, and it clearly states the penal measures that should be taken by the institutions if a person is caught for plagiarism. Similarity is up to 10%, and there is a marked difference between similarity and plagiarism. I will explain it later. We often used to refer it as same, plagiarism and similarity. Similarity is something else. You can have up to 10% similarity in your manuscript, in your thesis, etc., etc., while you're submitting to some institutions or journals. And up to 10% similarity, no penalty is given. In high impact journal, naturally, I think many of my colleagues used to send me manuscript before submitting to high impact journals, and some journals will allow up to 20, some will allow 30, and not more than 30 in good journals. For theses, I am from Kerala. In my university, Mahatma Gandhi University, it allows 25% similarity. But one of the famous universities in Kerala, the often used to refer as Mother University, the Kerala University allows only 10%. And Calicut University, which is another university in Kerala, allows chapter-wise similarity. That's all. So up to 10% similarity, no penalty. And if you want to know what is the difference between similarity and plagiarism, I will tell you one example. See the sentence, the sun rises in the east. It's a common sentence. It can be seen in many places. If you reproduce the same sentence, the sun rises in the east, it may not be considered as, it couldn't be considered as plagiarism because it's a common knowledge, the sun rises in the east. And if you include that sentence in your manuscript, the plagiarism detection software will show similarity, 100% similarity. If consider the only sentence you have written in a paper is the sun rises in the east, your paper will show 100% similarity. And it is not plagiarism, no. It's only similarity, it's a common knowledge. That's the difference between similarity and plagiarism. Then similarity about 10% and up to 40%, the student shall be asked to submit a revised script within a stipulated time period not exceeding 6 months. That's the remedial measure. If the submitted manuscript contains more than 10% and up to 40% similarity, the submitter should be asked to submit a revised script within a stipulated time not exceeding 6 months. This is the penal measure envisaged by the UGC. If it is between 40% and 60%, that student shall be debarred from submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. I am not aware about any institutions who did such penal measures. Many are not advertised, I think so. I know only one instance in Kerala from a university in Kerala. The student was debarred from submitting the revised script for some time. Later it was solved and he was permitted to resubmit. Then similarity is above 60%. Such student registration for that program shall be cancelled. This is the norm by UGC. If a thesis or something contains more than 60% similarity. So many other subtle rules are given in the order passed by UGC. You may please go through it later. Then this is for the early stage researchers, how you can avoid plagiarism. The best way to avoid plagiarism is to understand it. What are the constituents of plagiarism? Then what is quoting, what is citing the source, what is paraphrasing, and what is summarizing. If you go to the websites of any foreign universities, you can see, for example, for DU University, you can see an online writing lab link. And the research scholars or the other members who joins the institution should mandatorily undergo such an academic writing course before they start their research career. Unfortunately, it is not mandatory in our universities. That's why the submitted manuscripts or theses are showing much more amount of plagiarism in Indian academic circles. So the best way to understand plagiarism, what is not quote, cite, paraphrase, summarize, etc. What is paraphrase? It's a simple thing. It's for the early researchers, budding researchers. What is paraphrase? Paraphrasing is presenting ideas and information in your own words and acknowledging where they come from. And this is paraphrasing. Presenting ideas and information in your own words. If you go to any style manual, say for example, MLA style manual, and go to the section forms of plagiarism, I think it's in the 52 page or something, you can see types of note taking. When you read something, you have to take notes. So how to take notes? There are sections in MLA style manual, note taking. And in that area, you can see what is paraphrase, how to paraphrase. What is summary, how to summarize. What is quoting, how to quote, etc. So many examples are also given. So you must understand what paraphrase is, what summary is. Then only you can avoid plagiarism in your papers. Then, what are the steps involved in paraphrase? The first thing is read the original text until you understand it, and this is a thing that we may not always follow. Am I right? Read the original text until you understand it. Second thing is note down the key concept while you read. This is an important thing. Then see the third one, write down your version of the text without looking at the original. The most important thing, write down your version of the text without looking at the original. Then fourth one, compare your paraphrased text and make adjustments to ensure that it does not remain too similar. I am repeating it once more. Compare your paraphrased text and make adjustments to ensure that it doesn't remain too similar. Edit your work so it is written in an academic manner and flows with the rest of your assignment. Then the final one is make sure you have included a citation, and it is the fifth one. And these are the 5 steps involved in paraphrase. The take-home message is you have to read it, you have to assimilate it, and you have to restate in your own words, even if it is a single sentence. I'll show one example why even a single sentence is important. Next thing, some examples are given there. You may go through it later. Summarize and cite the source. What is summary? A summary is a shortened version of a larger reading. In your summary, you state the main idea in your own words, but specific examples and details are left out. That is the difference between a summary and a paraphrase. In summary, specific examples and details are left out. Typically, a paraphrase will be larger than a summary. A summary is a smaller, congested item. Okay. Then, when we use summary in our writing, when a passage from a source is too long to quote or paraphrase, in that instance, you have to summarize it. When a passage from a source is too long to quote or paraphrase. Second thing, when only the main ideas of a source are relevant to your paper. And the third one, when the details in a text might distract, overwhelm, or confuse readers, you may summarize it. You may avoid paraphrase that. And these are the instances where you have to use summary in your writing. Then what are the steps involved in summarizing? Step 1. Start by reading the text and highlight the main points as you read. Okay. Start by reading the text and highlight the main points as you read. Then the second step is reread the text and make notes from the main points, leaving out examples, evidences, etc. You may include examples, evidences, etc. in your when you paraphrase. Then third one, very important, without the text, rewrite your notes in your own words. You have to use your own words. Then restate the main idea at the beginning of your summary plus all major points. Include the conclusion or the final findings of the work. And the most important thing is I have included the last sentence, that is include an in-text citation in the expected formatting style. I think you are already learned about how to use reference management softwares, what is in-text citation, how to prepare a reading list, how to prepare reference list, how to prepare bibliography, etc. So these are the steps that should be done while summarizing your content. Then what is citing the source? To cite a source means to give credit for the original source of information, an idea, or a way of articulating an idea. It is a standardized method of acknowledging resources used in your research. And this is what plagiarism is and how to avoid plagiarism. And I will show some examples. Is it visible there?
Yes, sir.
See, go through the advertisement. It's an advertisement that is hanged in the wall of a university, I think so. Articles, research papers, thesis and dissertation, writing and publication in national, international journals, conferences. The phone number is there. See, this is plagiarism or intentional plagiarism, buying or copying purpose. I have shown an example of copying paper in the beginning. This is buying purpose. See, this happens only in India, no? Then this is another thing. Unique term purpose, no? See the catchphrases. We are a team of professional writers and we can ease your workload and help you to get great grade. All purpose are guaranteed 100% original. And if you order more than 2 or 3 papers or apply, the promo code is there. Just like when we buy something from Amazon, promo code, $5 discount, uniquetermpurpose.com. So this comes under the purview of plagiarism. It's a crime. So this is an example. See the various stages that research consultancy offers. Stage 1, topic selection, literature survey, research proposal, then research paper publication, research project implementation, synopsis writing, thesis writing, viva or support, etc., etc. So this is not fair. When you pay something, they will do everything for you, and this is not good regarding our academic service. It's against publication ethics. And this I have taken from a screenshot from a Facebook academic group. See, I will read. I think it's the font size is very low. See, someone posted in an academic circle, and he says, the person who posted says, third author position is available for accepted paper in Scopus indexed journal at very nominal charges. Contact me for details. And Shankara Narayanan, the admin of that group, posted this message with a warning. This is posted in the forum for approval. Member detail is hidden. Where we are going. Okay, fine. So this happens only in Indian academic circles. No. Third author position is available for accepted paper in Scopus. When you pay something, you will become the co-author of an article about to publish in Scopus Index Journal, and you are not familiar with any content of the journal. Your name will be displayed. Your name will be seen as the third author when you pay something. See, term paper mills. This is the collective noun for the websites that is available in the web, which help or which receives money, and term papers, dissertation thesis are written for the person who pays. So always give orientation to the new researchers. Faculties themselves should be empowered with these sort of hidden places in the web. Then only they can ascertain whether a submitted manuscript or something is written by the person itself, or he or she has brought it for a payment from any of these sites. Essay Shark, Paper Due Now, Essay on Time, Paper Weight, etc., etc. Okay, fine. We can see some headlines about plagiarism. After that, I will show plagiarism detection software, how plagiarism can be detected. Then cite flag, citation-based plagiarism detection system, which is not discussed widely among the academic circles in India. Cite flag. This is an older PPT. No, this in literature point of view, and this is one of the famous case of plagiarism. And Harvard student Kavya Vishwanathan, and she wrote a novel, How Opal Mehta Got Kissed, Got Wild, and Got Alive. It became bestseller in the market. Later, it was found that when the readers started reading the novel, they found that many of the instances, plots, themes, etc., were copied from Megan McCafferty's Sloppy First and Second Helpings, and they started alleging that Kavya Vishwanathan copied it. Later, it was recalled from the market, and this is a famous classic example of plagiarism in literature. And see the case of Germany. It's a peculiar case, a very interesting one. All should be aware about the examples of plagiarism from Germany, just because almost everyone does plagiarism there. See, the most famous one was of the education minister of Germany, and her name was Annette Schumann. She resigned from her post in 2013, and the history goes in this way. In 1918, she submitted her thesis to a university in Germany. The title was The Individual and the Conscience. 1918, no. After 32 years, in 2012, an anonymous blogger posted portions of her dissertation online, and it alleges that 60 passages in the 351-page dissertation that were paraphrased from sources without adequate citation. And this was the allegation. And the university started an investigation and found that the allegation was right. Her PhD was revoked, her PhD title was taken away. She resigned from the position of the education minister of Germany in 2030. Later, Angela Merkel was the premier of Germany. Then she sent her as ambassador to Vatican. The University of Vatican gave an honorary doctorate to Annette Schumann. So she cancelled, or she withdrew the case against the university in Germany. That's the most interesting end of that story. Then, and this is another peculiar example from Germany. I think some of you are aware about this story. The defense minister of Germany, called Theodor zu Guttenberg, in 2011, he resigned from the position of defense minister of Germany just because he translated a thesis about American Constitution from English and translated it to German and submitted to a university in Germany, and he got a PhD for that. And the text plagiarism detection software or the similarity detection software were not able to identify. That time it was not so common among universities to check the submitted items about for similarity. Anyway, he got a PhD. Later, a person created a software known as Siteplag, CITEPLAG. I will show the website later after the this PPT. Siteplag, and Siteplag essentially looks for citation-based plagiarism detection. That means if a person copies something, it is argued that he or she will copy the entire citations also from a source. And Siteplag software exclusively looks for the patterns in copying of citations, and Carl Theodor Gutenberg was caught in a citation-based plagiarism detection system, and the example is still available in the web. You can go through that. I will show the example. And this is another famous case of plagiarism that was caught. Then this is a survey started in Germany, and that service will examine parliamentarians' dissertations for a fee starting from £20, and the results which will be published online. And there is scope for India also. Brownie Plague, this is in Germany. So many examples are there. I am not going to each and every detail. See, lyrics were copied and the court sued and fined. Then this is a typical example which was 10 years before. Madras University bans scholars for plagiarism. I think I started using plagiarism detection software in 2014 when MG University, Mahatma Gandhi University was given access to authenticate. This happened in 2012, no, before 2 years of that incident. See, Madras University bans scholar for plagiarism. What happened in this case is, normally the thesis will be sent to 3 examiners. One will be to the foreign examiners, and in this particular case, the local examiners cleared the thesis, and the foreign examiner used a plagiarism detection software. At that time, I think from 2010 onwards, this Turnitin, Authenticate, etc. were available. It was a common phenomenon in foreign universities, and that foreign examiner checked that thesis with Turnitin or Authenticate, and that examiner wrote to the vice chancellor of Madras University that the person should not be given a PhD title, and the VC accepted the words of or the report of that examiner, and the person was not given a PhD. He was not allowed to submit. And the example of CNRO, I will show with the example. I have the screenshot of the article. I will show it. I'm closing this PPT. Is it visible there? This is the first page of an article written by Surajit Ghosh, etc., etc.
Yes, sir, it is visible if you can zoom out, sir.
Okay.
The plus option of the zoom top.
Full screen, just a minute. Full screen.
No, sir, in the page itself. Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, fine. See, this article was was published in 2010 in Applied Physics Letters, and the title is Position Dependent Photo Detector from Large Area Reduced Graphene Oxide Thin Films. The authors' names are Surajit Ghosh, Bidut K. Sarkar, and his co-authors. See, I have underlined the one sentence in the introductory part. I'll read it. For large-scale fabrication of graphene-based devices, exfoliation of graphite into individual graphene sheets in large quantities is required. The second sentence, thin films prepared from solution processed geo offer ease of material processing, low cost of fabrication, mechanical flexibility and compatibility with various substrates, making them an attractive candidate for large area devices. Okay. This was written in 2010. I will show another one. And this has been this was appeared in Advanced Materials in 2011. No, the title is Infrared Photo Detectors based on reduced graphene oxide and graphene nano ribbons, written by Basant Chitara, Panchagarla, Tripadindi, and CNR Rao. CNR Rao, we know his name, the famous nanotechnologist. See, I am reading two sentences. For large scale fabrication of graphene based devices, exfoliation of graphite into individual graphene sheets in large quantities is required. The same sentence which was in Surajit's course article's introductory part was copied into this article, which was published in 2011 by CNR Rao and his PhD student. No citation is given. Then second thing, thin films prepared from solution processed geo offer ease of material processing, low cost of fabric. The second sentence, it is also not cited. See, and what was the net result of this issue? Just go to Google and just type CNR Rao plagiarism. See, in Nature published something on that matter in 2012. Indian Science Advisor caught up in plagiarism role. See, I have shown the example. The PhD students of CNR Rao copied two sentences from another article which was published 1 year prior before the publishing of their article, and copied two sentences without giving citation, and it was counted as plagiarism. And what was the result now? CNR Rao wrote to the editor of the journal that the article may be retracted. Please remove our article from the journal database. He requested, because it is counted as plagiarism. How many of we care about such things? How many sentences we are copying in our manuscript, our thesis, etc., without giving citation? See, this is how the academic circle looks at. Even if it is a single sentence, it is counted as plagiarism. So even if it is a single sentence, you have to restate in your own words and you have to give the citation. Okay, fine. This is, so next time when you start write something, always think of CNR Rao and his PhD students. So next time onwards, you will not, never ever, you will copy even a single sentence without giving citation or something. You will never do plagiarism. And this is one of the classic examples I can show you. See, I'll show something else also. See, retraction notices from some of the prominent journals. Retraction notices means when you submit something to a high impact journal, at least it will take 1 year or 1.5 years to publish something. Later, when the reader starts reading something, they will find something unusual. They will complain to the editor. The editor will ask, or editor will issue a memo to the author, and if the author will not respond to it in a good fashion or in a genuine way, the article may get retracted, or it may be removed from the journal. This is a typical example for that. And this retraction notice appeared in Biotechnology Advances. It's a high impact journal by Elsevier, and the title, I will read it: Retraction Notice to Molecular Imprinting in Sol Gel Matrix, and written by Radha Gupta Ashok Kumar, Department of Biological Sciences and Bioengineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. And what the retraction notice says: this article has been retracted at the request of the editor, as the authors have plagiarized several papers that had already appeared in journals, in several journals. One of the conditions of submission of a paper for publication is that Authors declare explicitly that their work is original and has not appeared in publication elsewhere. Reuse of any data should be appropriately cited, and this article represents a severe abuse of the scientific publication system. The scientific community takes a strong view on this matter, and we apologize to the readers of the journal that this was not detected during the submission process. That means there is a initial screening process to check whether the submitted manuscript contains plagiarized material, similar material or not, and the submission mechanism failed to detect any amount of plagiarism in that submitted manuscript. It was published. Later, the readers found that there are instances of plagiarism in that published, and the links to the published plagiarized material or the source from which the authors copied items were listed in the retraction notice. And this is what is called retraction due to plagiarism. There are so many reasons for retracting. Plagiarism is one among the reasons, and this is a retraction notice. I have 3 or 4 retraction notice, all from reputed journals. This one, I will read this one also. And this is for the person who haven't seen any retraction notices due to plagiarism. See, this appear, I think this is from another journal, Springer. The earlier one from Elsevier, this is from Springer. Mobile phone and e-government, the future of dissemination of public services, written by Sami M, then Muhammad Mudassir, etc. And see, the communication has been found to contain unquoted and unreferenced passages from the chapter. See, and this article contained unquoted material. That means the authors copied items from this article or this chapter, and this is a serious violation of publication ethics, which according to Springer policy on publishing integrity and warrants a retraction notice. So this is the case. And if you intentionally or unintentionally add something to your manuscript, and your manuscript may be published due to your luck, but later it can be caught, your academic integrity will be lost. I remember one instance where a professor in a university, a professor in US university, lost 2 of his papers, and those 2 papers emanated or were from his PhD thesis. That means he produced 2 papers from his PhD, and it was published. He was promoted to professorship. Later, it was found that the 2 articles were contained some publication misconduct, plagiarism, etc., etc. The 2 articles were retracted. What the university did was they depromoted that person from his professorship to assistant professorship. This is how institutions deal with instances of plagiarism. I will show another example, which is now common in Indian academic WhatsApp groups. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
See, regular issue, science citation index, scopus index, ready to be submitted. Impact factor 0.6. Title is given. See, available positions. Third, 25K. Fourth, 20K. Fifth, 50K. Sixth, 10K. See, this is the situation of Indian academics. If you are a member of any academic WhatsApp group, you used to get these types of messages from unknown persons. This is not fair. You should not fall into these types of traps. See, you can even buy patents. And this is another example. See, first applicant inventor cost 5K, third applicant, seventh applicant, eighth applicant, etc. Available position is a patent about to file, Indian patent going to file. So this is the latest one, 8th February 2020. I have taken screenshot from one of the groups. So never fell prey to these types of academic misconducts. Now I will show some examples of plagiarism detection softwares. I will stop for 1 minute. You can ask any questions if you have. Participants, please feel free to ask any of the queries which you have about plagiarism and about what I spoke up to this moment. I think more than 70 participants are there, right? Now kindly let me know who are all the participants. All are librarians or other faculty members or something. I haven't done a audience research in the beginning.
They are mostly librarians, but some faculty members are out there.
Oh, okay, fine. So please ask any questions if you have. Otherwise, I will move forward just for 1 minute. No.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, if you have any question, then please post your question in the chat box or please raise your hand. Sir, as you are explaining, it is in the lucid manner. It is very much understandable to everyone.
Okay, fine.
So please, sir, you may continue, sir.
Okay, fine. I will continue. See, plagiarism detection softwares. Each and every institution nowadays have a plagiarism detection software, and it could be Urkund, it could be Authenticate, it could be Turnitin, or some institutions which I know who are not able to buy highly priced software, they used to buy what plagiarism detection softwares ranging $10 per month, $5 per month, etc., etc. Anyway, the standard softwares in market which are used by majority of institutions, the names are Authenticate 1, Authenticate, then Turnitin, Urkund. See, Authenticate. It's a product by iParadigms. The company name is iParadigms. You can buy credits. If you want to check your manuscript, if you want to check your thesis, you can buy credits from Authenticate, and you can go to this link, buy credits. See, $25,000 words. If the the manuscript which you are about to submit contains 25,000 words, you have to pay $100, means around 8,000 rupees. I think many of us are not able to pay that much of amount for checking one paper having words up to 25,000 words. And if you want to check your thesis, normally thesis will contain more than 25,000 words. See, for the submission of multiple manuscripts or one manuscript up to 75,000 words, it's $300, around 20,000 rupees. And for oleum discounts, for institution, if you want to get more oleum discount, for example, engineering college Trivandrum in Kerala has around 5,000 purpose per year oleum discount for Authenticate. Then Kerala University has an oleum discount of 1,000 purpose. You can check 1,000 purpose for a negotiable rate. This is Authenticate. I think it's the market leader. Then the same company produce another software known as Turnitin. And this is the homepage of Turnitin. I will show you an example with Turnitin. Then Urkund. University has given access, UGC has given access to various universities to this software, Urkund. I will log into Urkund. This is the back end of Urkund, where you can submit your manuscript or thesis to check the similarity of the items which you have written in the manuscript. Turnitin is also there, and if you log into Turnitin, there you can see, just a minute. And this is the back end of Turnitin. You can submit manuscript or thesis to this one, and you can see the similarity percentage produced by this software. Same is the case of Urkund also. We can check one paper. For example, we can take something from Indian history. I'm writing something about Indian history. Just assume that Indian history. I'm just searching the Google. I am taking something from Wikipedia. I'm copying the first paragraph. I'm copying the first and second and third paragraph from Wikipedia. I'm copying it. Just a minute. I think I have already done that. Just a minute. Yes. And this is file. This. I have copied the item which I took from the Wikipedia. Just save it. Save it to the desktop. I'm closing it. Yes, the file is there. Check Turnitin. Click the submit file option. I think you can see the software, right? Back end of the software, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Indian history. Choose from this computer. Just click that. See, when you submit to Turnitin, I have enabled an option here. The file you are submitting will not be added to any repository. So when you check for trial, your manuscript or thesis, always tell the person who are checking your manuscript or thesis, please enable this option. the file you are submitting will not add it to any repository. Otherwise, it will be there. When you check your manuscript next time, it will show more similarity, higher similarity, or double similarity. So always enable this one. It should not be added to any repository. Then just click the upload button. It will show this way: the character count, word count, page count, file size, etc. Then click the confirm button. And something like this will be generated, digital receipt. Okay. Then go to the place where it was uploaded. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to get the report. See, the paper which I uploaded now, Jasima's Indian History, it shows a ghost icon. That means no similarity is till now produced. Just log out and we can come later. See, I am checking it with Urkund also. For checking Urkund, you have to click the top right button, upload documents. I think you can see it, upload documents. Just click there. Then select an analysis address here. Then drop files here or here to click, select the item. Just click the open button, submit. Click OK. After some time, just log in and now you can see the similarity percent. Before that, I will show you one thing. This is a test which I did with the plagiarism detection software for a comparison, and see, this was the article. CSR practices and ownership. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. CSR practices and ownership structure, a study of manufacturing companies in public and private sector. 8-page document written by someone. And I checked with Turnitin and Urkund. See the results. The Urkund report. See 6% similarity. 6%. This was done in 2017. No, I have kept the file for presentation. 6%. That means Urkund detected 6% of similarity in the submitted document. How much Turnitin detected? Just wait and see. And this is the page, document, report. See, in the abstract, multicolor formatting. That means the software detects text which are similar, which are available somewhere else in the web, so that we can easily identify by seeing the markings. Multicolor format. See, different colors are given. Review of literature. Then so many items. In the last page, there will be a similarity index report. See, 28%. That means normally there will be a marked difference between items which are checked using different softwares. See, in Turnitin, it detected 28. In Urkund, it detected 6. Okay, fine. And this is due to several reasons, just because of the database strength of the software. Turnitin is a market leader. Authenticate is a market leader. They say that they have collaboration with various academic publishers. They will match the submitted content with the database, the user ID, password, log content, and then they will produce the result. That's why their similarity report is high. Sometimes Urkund will show low similarity report. Sometimes Urkund will show high, and there is no uniformity, and that should be aware. And you should be aware about this thing. When you submit manuscript to high impact journals, for example, say, and a journal in American Institute of Physics, you have written a paper and you are about to submit it, and you have checked your paper in Urkun, it may show 2 or 3%. But if you check that item in Turnitin or Authenticate, it may show 20 or 25% sometimes, not every time. And when you submit that item to the journal, your paper may get rejected. So there is a problem with that. So you should check with multiple softwares. Trial checks should be done to ascertain whether your manuscript, thesis, etc. about to submit to some institutions or journals is free from similar content. I think you got the point what I wish to share. We can log in to Turnitin again. Whether Turnitin produced the result or not. See, the report has come. Jasim S. Indian history. See, 99% similarity. That means I have copied 3 paragraphs about Indian history from Wikipedia, which is a human edited encyclopedia, which is available in the web. Many of we used to refer Wikipedia. And I copied 3 paragraphs and created a manuscript, and Turnitin detected that 99% is copied. This is how the plagiarism detection software works. I think you have no more doubts how this plagiarism detection software works. See, the color formatting is there. That means if you click the number 1, it will show the source from which I copied it. Just double click it, Wikipedia, the source is given. Okay. And many of the research scholars do not know the working functionalities or the working features of this software. I will show the working features of this software. See, if you click the download button, you can download the current view, digital receipt, and originally submitted file. Just click this one. You can see several keys there, several settings there, and this is filter and setting icon. See, there you can see several filters: exclude quotes, exclude bibliography, exclude sources that are less than 4%, etc., etc. You can use 3 filters for exclusion there. You can use the word limit. If you increase the word limit from 4 to 14, the similarity percentage will be less. That means we are telling the software that you should not count words about 20 about 4, in this case 4. If you find something similar up to 4 words, you should not count it as plagiarism. This is the instruction that is given by enabling this 4 words. If it is 40 words or something else, the software will not detect as much as words you are given in the filter. This is 1%. Then you can change the percentage level there, no? Then don't exclude by size, etc. These are filters there. Not working. I think it's hang. Anyway, you can change the number of words there, the percentage level there, etc. Then this one, all sources. You can see the other sources in which the material appears. And this is a tricky area. If you want to exclude something from the report, you can do it here manually. See the exclude sources icon there. Just click that. You can select each and every one individually, and you can exclude that from the report. And this is a provision given by this software. Why this provision? Why this provision? Because if there is something legally reproduced, legally quoted, legally included items, and if the software unknowingly or knowingly shows that it is similar content, you can exclude it just by clicking the exclude sources button, clicking it, and exclude that from the report. The similarity report will be less than, and this is used, should be used with care. For example, I used to see several instances that some legally copied material. Say, for example, if literature thesis contains more block quotations, that means legally reproduced items, the software will detect it as similarity or plagiarism. It should be avoided from the report. In that cases, the person who checks the paper against plagiarism or similarity will select the exclude sources items, select that, and they will exclude from the plagiarism report. And this is the typical case. You should aware about the filters. Now see the total plagiarism amount. Only 3%. It was 100%, right? I have selected several items and excluded from the report. Now it's only 3%. This is how items can be excluded from the final report. The university or the institution should have a policy decision in this regard. Then only the items can be excluded. So the filter options, you should be aware about this: words, percentage level, etc. Then you can change 1 to 10 or 90, percentage 1 to 10 or 14, etc. Don't exclude by settings, etc., etc. You can exclude quotes. It should be enabled. When double quotes is there in the manuscript, the software will not count it as plagiarism. Otherwise, it will count as plagiarism. Bibliography is also detected by the software as bibliography. It will not be counted as similarity or plagiarism. Okay. So this is how plagiarism detection software works. I think you have got the idea. Now we can log into Urkund. Urkund will also show the same percentage because it is taken from the web content. We can see it. See, 100%. That means the whole content is taken from someone else, some places, and it will show 100% similar. You can download the report by clicking here. Matching text 100%. This is how plagiarism detection software works. So I have mentioned about CitePlag, which is citation-based plagiarism detection system. And this is the homepage of CitePlag. You may please go through this website later. And the first item given is the thesis of former German defense minister called Theodor zu Guttenberg. And it's a translation plagiarism. I have mentioned in the beginning beginning session in the first hour. He copied an English thesis and translated it to German and submitted to an university in Germany. In the initial phase, it was not detected by plagiarism detection software. Later, this CitePlag.org or this CitePlag software detected it to be citation-based plagiarism detection system. This is something entirely different from the text plagiarism detectors like Turnitin and Urkund. It looks to the patterns in the copying of the citations by an author. How much amount of citation is being copied from another source, and it will go. Some techniques are given there: GCT, citation tilting, etc., etc. And that's how it will produce a similarity index. And if it shows higher similarity index, it can be argued that the submitted manuscript is copied one, plagiarized one. So CitePlag.org. I think in any of the plagiarism session, this CitePlag will not be discussed just because we are not using this type of software to check plagiarism. So the future of the plagiarism detection software will be a sync or the mixing of text plagiarism detection software and this citation based plagiarism detection software. The era of artificial intelligence. Okay, fine. So this is what I have to say about plagiarism detection softwares. Then always try to use priced softwares like Turnitin or Fund, Authenticate, etc. Never use free plagiarism detection softwares. It's my point of view. Someone else will say that you can use free plagiarism detection softwares, but I will not recommend or suggest to use free plagiarism detection softwares, because you should know the policy structure or the policy of each and every software before you are using it. Whether they are adding to your submitted paper to their database, whether they should have such a policy, whether they have a filter to avoid adding to their repository. It should be just 1 minute. I have an urgent call now. Anyway, never use free softwares, free detection softwares. Always try to use priced softwares so that your manuscript will be secure. See, many paper mills, means persons who are giving advertisement that your name can be included in a paper or you can easily publish something. They normally runs this free plagiarism detection software. When something is uploaded there, if it is a good manuscript or something, they will try to sell that paper in the black market. So your valuable contribution or your hard work will be lost. So try not to upload your purpose in free detection softwares. Always try to use this priced softwares. In many institutions have access to these softwares. Try to get help from those institutions. In Kerala, many institutions will help persons to check their purpose for a nominal fee, for example 150 rupees, 300 rupees, etc., etc. I think your university has access to some of these softwares. Try to get help from them, from the library. This is what I have to say about plagiarism. Then I think I have discussed in detail the definition of plagiarism, types of plagiarism. In a single classification, so many classifications are there. Then examples of plagiarism, then how plagiarism can be detected, types of plagiarism detectors, difference between the reports generated by plagiarism detection softwares, etc., etc. I think you have got a strong basic foundation of what plagiarism is. Now you can ask questions. I will share the PPTs with the organizers so that you can go through it. I have prepared 2 or 3 PPTs and some PPTs which I got from different sessions by different resource persons. I will forward that also so that you can see the entire spectra of ideas generated by different resource persons in this field. I have been to this plagiarism detection system from 2014 onwards. So please feel free to ask some questions. And thank you for the patient listening. We can have a discussion for 10 or 15 minutes if you have any. Otherwise, we can wind up. Thank you for the patient listening. I haven't covered the entire thing just because I'm not well, because I have been with fever for the last 1 week. Okay, thank you for the listen. You may ask questions. Some questions
there.
on the chat box now. Shubhanudan, good afternoon. Please tell that how the softwares calculate the percentage. Can they check the semantic conceptual similarity of any kind? No, they check only the similarity in the text. They will not check any semantic or conceptual similarities. That's the problem with the software. It's just a tool to identify the similar content. That's only. It cannot identify semantic or conceptual similarities. So nice question. It's from Shubhanudhan. It's not the last word. Software is not the last word to check plagiarism. Human involvement is absolutely necessary to identify plagiarism. It's just a tool to identify this much of this manuscript could contain this much of plagiarism. It's just an assumption. The human involvement should be there to ascertain whether it is plagiarism or not. If it is not plagiarism, there are tools or filters in the plagiarism software itself to remove it. And it is just a machine. It doesn't have an intellect to identify the conceptual or semantic similarities. That's why the thesis of German defense minister was not detected in the beginning. Later it was detected by some other software. It used a different algorithm, different technique to see the patterns in the copying of the citation based plagiarism detection system. So it's rapidly evolving. Its capacities are increasing. The involvement of artificial intelligence, etc., will make it more efficient, and it will not replace human intellect. I think you got the point.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah, please tell.
Sir, yes, it is. Thank you for your answer, sir. One thing more, that the calculation of the percentage means 1%, 2%. How they calculate actually means what is the logic behind the calculation of the percentage?
They haven't made it open. They haven't set the methodology in any of their products. No, if you go to the Urkund page or Turnitin page, they haven't mentioned it, and none is asking what are the methodology you follow to develop this percentage level.
Okay, actually, sir, one interesting fact I have seen earlier, that one research article, when I was checking a content similarity check, so the paper contains similarities from article from Russian publications and few from American publications. So interestingly, I got that that particular software cannot detect the Russian portions, means from where those are copied from the Russian content. Okay, but they can easily detect the American or European contents. So how and for so many times I have seen such kind of interesting facts, and since that time I am very much curious how they work actually. What is the working behind the curtain? So that is why I asked you.
Okay, fine. Say for the example, Urkund. Urkund is a Swedish product. No, it is produced from Sweden. It contains many databases or many academic documents in Swedish language, and that's why Urkund is more famous in European universities. No, if you submit something which is in Swedish language, the Urkund will show higher level of similarity. That means when you submit something, it will check against the items in their databases for similarity. If the software able to detect much similarity in their language, it will show higher percentage. But when something is submitted in English language, it very often fails. Then when you submit something which is taken from the databases, because articles which are not publicly open, the full text is not open, Turnitin will show more similarity. That means they claim that they have collaborations with major publishers, and they will check against the submitted manuscript for similarity with the items in the academic database content which are in locked manner, which are in user ID password locked fashion. And this is why the difference between the similar percentage. For Turnitin has now created products which can detect Arabic, then German. So just go to the products of Turnitin, which are the languages which can be detected more efficiently using this software. They are fastly increasing the content base. So this is, I think, the working mechanism behind the level of percentage produced by this software. They will check against the database which are already available with them and not nothing else beyond that. That could be the reason.
Okay, get your point, sir. Okay, that means totally their similarity checking process is totally subject to collaboration of as much as possible with the database.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Okay.
answer.
Software is not the last word to detect plagiarism. Sometimes it will not show any plagiarism, but when you peruse it, you can easily identify, oh, I have seen this thing somewhere else. I have seen this word somewhere else. When you just copy something, 1 or 2 words, and just Google it, you can see the source. So it's only a tool. Then one person in the chat box, Urkund is open software or not? It's not an open software. It only has institutional subscription. You have to pay something. The University Grants Commission has given access to Urkund to almost all the universities in India. Now they have issued an order that all theses submitted to universities should be checked with Urkund before submission, and each universities can have their own regulations how much similarity should be there. I said it in the talk also. Kerala University 10%, MG University 25%, Delhi University 5%, etc. etc.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir. You advise to utilize price software to save and secure the data. But sir, now the present time, Koha software is an open access software, and it is also helpful to us. My question is it secure or not?
Could you please ask once more? I couldn't understand your question.
Sir, actually, you advise to utilize the price software to save and secure the data. But now, present time, Koha software is an open access software and it is helpful to us. That's why my question is, it is secure or not?
This Koha software is a library management software, no?
Yes, sir.
This Urkund is a plagiarism detection. We are not uploading any documents to Koha, no? We are submitting our valuable manuscript, thesis, etc. That's why it should be in a secure fashion, no?
Okay.
If there is an open software which the users can relay that their purpose are secure, we can use the open source software. For the time being, I think there are no good open source software for checking plagiarism.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, may I ask one more question, sir?
Sure.
Sir, similarity checkers used for SEOs and similarity checkers like Turnitin and Urkund, what is the actual difference? Means our SEO similarity checkers can also be used?
See, the database strength matters. For SEO checking, then other free software, they will check only against the content which are available in the open web, no?
Okay, that means websites and like this.
Yeah, in the surface web. They will not, they do not have the capacity to check the deep web, then academic databases, etc.
Okay, thank you, sir.
When the content is available in the open web, they will show 100% similarity. But if the content is only available in some databases, their crawlers, their algorithm do not have the capacity to go deep into the academic database and set the similarity.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sir, actually, which is the better actually TuneIn or Urkund? Because TuneIn is regularly used for course, both undergraduate and also graduate. Whereas original is instead for person who create research document actually. So what is the main difference between two?
Urkund has now embedded the capabilities of original also in checking the submitted content. Earlier it was Urkund alone, no? Then it what combined the capabilities of original another software. Now it acts as a single one. That's the main reason. Now the similarity reports produced by original, that means Urkund, the new name of Urkund. It's almost similar to that of Turnitin, etc. In many cases, in not all cases. Now, I used to check theses at least 3 or 5 per week. I used to check both in Urkund and Turnitin. In many cases, this original shows less similarity. And if you have any doubts, please contact with the university where both these softwares are used. What is the level of differences in similarity percentages produced by original, Turnitin, or any other software? I think some studies are in the public domain. The difference in level of similarities produced by these softwares, and even some universities are thinking of buying Turnitin also, so that they can do checks in multiple softwares, so that this risk of being rejected by good journals can be avoided.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear participants, if you have any question, then please put your question in the chat box or please raise your hand. Kanchan Pradhan, madam, you can put your question in the chat box. Pinaki sir, do you have any question? Pinaki Sarkar.
I think Pinaki Sarkar has raised his hands. Please unmute yourself and ask a question, please, Pinaki.
Pinaki Sarkar, sir, do you have any question? Please unmute your mic. Anyone from participants? Sir, you have provided email ID, sir.
My email ID and my contact number is given there. Please WhatsApp the details before you call, because I will be busy with some programs in the daytime. And please feel free to contact future also. No, any participants, if you have any doubts with reference management, plagiarism, publishing, etc., I will be happy to help you from my point of view, my suggestions, etc. I used to come to West Bengal. I think I have come for Koha Conclave in 2016 or 17. That's the only time when I came to West Bengal, and I was excited when I got an invitation from another university there for this session, and thank you for the stakeholders for inviting me. Okay, if you have no more doubts, we can wind up, right?
Yes. Thank you very much for your valuable talk. And we hope we'll meet again another.
One question is there in the chat box, any open access plagiarism software? How many softwares are there? No, when you use Grammarly software, it has a provision for checking plagiarism also. Grammarly software, and facility is embedded with Grammarly priced version. You can use that. I would suggest that. Or then Dustball of University of Maryland, Dustball, DUSTBAL, Dustball. I think you have to pay $12 per month or something. Then Viper is there. Viper's priced version is there. Viper is an open source software. Then so try Viper. VIPER, Viper. It's an open source plagiarism detection software. Try not to upload your valuable content in such softwares. Now, only when you are confident that your submitted item is in a secure fashion, it will not leak, or others will copy your content, then only you use free softwares. Otherwise, just avoid that. Use softwares from institutions. At least we have a policy there. No, they have a MOU with the content provider or the service provider that your content will be secure. So that's my suggestion.
Which software use in public library? Sir, question from Anil Panda.
Anil, could you please unmute? Which software means? Is it library software or this plagiarism detection software?
Anil Panda, sir, please unmute your mic. Anil Panda, sir, please unmute your mic. And can you brief the question? Anil Panda, sir, please unmute your mic. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, which
Please ask.
software used in public book entry public library?
Is it for
Sir?
plagiarism checking or for library automation?
Book entry, public library in book entry, which software?
See, I couldn't understand your question. You may please
Hello?
call me after the session. No, I will tell you in detail. No, I think if it
Hello?
is a library management software, you can use Koha something. And if it is you are looking for a plagiarism detection software, I think public libraries do not use plagiarism detection software. If you surely want or it's a necessity, you may seek help from some of the university libraries near your public library. That would be fine. Means in Kerala, we have collaboration among the aided institutions to share the plagiarism detection software, etc., etc. You just find some collaborations there. That would be fine. Please call me after the session. I will clear your doubt. No, actually, I couldn't understand what you are saying.
Yes, sir. Sir, you may contact via phone or email. Sir has already provided to you in the chat box. You can note it down. Dear participants, if you have no question further, then we are at the end of the session. If you have any question, then please come forward and put your question. Ma'am, we don't get any questions now.
Okay, so we may end this session, and thank you very much for your valuable talk. We think that we will meet again in another program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So thank you all. I am leaving. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time.